Greetings. It's a question or a comment that often comes up on social media, and it's something that a lot of you have already got to this point where you'll be saying, I don't belong here. This is not my home. I don't feel right. I don't fit in. I've come so far, I've looked at so much, I can't turn back, I can't be like them. It's a very common thing. That's your conscious ego mind. Well, over on this side, your subconscious is going, what was that? I don't feel like I belong here. Well, okay, if that's what you want. The ever-loving wife, the subconscious, will just keep throwing that across based on what the conscious is feeling. And it becomes like a sort of an outburst, a sort of, oh, I don't belong here, why has this happened to me, and all this sort of thing. And then eventually the penny will drop, because the more you look externally for the answers that you're seeking, all you're going to uncover is another lie and another lie. But eventually there'll be this centered voice who will say, well, that's quite an outburst. Do you want to carry on, or you had enough yet? What do you want to do? That's the Creator talking to you, right there. You'll hear it. And your subconscious will be sort of thinking, oh, what's this? This is new. The Creator will be saying, you're fine. You're just doing what you're meant to do. No trouble with you. But the conscious mind is like that child that thinks it knows best. And the Creator, the Father, will keep an eye. Won't really let you come to any real harm. You'll just go through experiences like, okay, if you know best, off you go. Go and do whatever. Come back and see me when you're ready. I'm just going to go to sleep and dream the dream that I've created. Because the Creator is playing every part, of course. We can see this reflected in so many things. Now take, for example, let's have a look at it this way. It's amazing what's shown visually now. Oh look, the Eye of Horrors. So let's look at one of those Eye of Horrors, as in the sci-fi horror films called Aliens and Predator. So we start with the alien. Well, it's not from Earth because it's alien. Now, these things have got very acidic blood, and it's a vicious little bastard because it's got this tail like a rattlesnake, which it can use as a spear and stab. It has an intelligence, and it's awful saliva problem, and it's got these ferocious teeth, and then it's got this tongue with this extra set of teeth. There's the gnashing of teeth, the wailing and gnashing of teeth being shown to you. So that's the alien. That's a particularly vicious thing. Then you had the predators. Now that's a completely different ball game. You've got these predators who have got this sort of tradition and this honour. They wear this sort of like fishnet thing. On their right shoulder is like a guided laser that does a triangle of 3 red lights when it aims true and fires. It has many other weapons. It has an arsenal of weapons attached to it. It wears a mask. It's normally cloaked and is in the unseen. If we go back to the first Predator film, you've got the scout with the long hair who, although nobody can see this thing moving amongst the trees, this guy who is like a Indian tracker, a tribal person, he's got that extra sense. He's got that sense of nature. He knows, although he can't see something, he can see something. He's very aware of it. Now these predators might seem to be quite honourable to themselves, amongst themselves, but of course they're very sore losers, because what they do, as Arnold Schwarzenegger found out, on their left arm, because the left is to do with the past, if they lose, they start this countdown sequence. Now don't worry about the actual numbers because they're in a language you can't understand, but as Arnold Schwarzenegger sort of realised, the penny dropped, there's a countdown sequence has been initiated, and it's like, well, if I'm dead, then I'm taking everything with me. Nice lot, aren't they? So, what happens when you bring aliens and predators together? In the film from 2004, AVP, Alien vs Predator. Let's have a look at that. Now you've got a 3 going on, and you've got a trinity here. You've got the alien, which is a mother. Now where is she? She's below ground. She's on the Antarctic, way below ground. And she's chained. That's interesting. Now, let's look at I'm going to go over the highlights of this film because we don't want to be bogged down in all the details. We know with Danny Glover where he actually beats one of these predators, and then the rest of this spaceship comes along, and you've got the granddaddy of these predators who gives Danny Glover this old flintlock pistol from, I think it's 1728. So it's telling you they've been about for a long time. So moving back to the Alien vs Predator film, the first sign is a detection in this Wayland Industries of something has happened, some anomaly that they can't explain in the Antarctic. So, Wayland is a big clue in that. What is something worth? It's often weighed to work out its worth. So it's basically you've got an international corporation, an industry, Wayland Industry, who this CEO wants to be claiming his egoic title of being the first man, discover it. He's got the resources to assemble this team of experts from across all the sciences who will obviously have all the answers. So we then move to the primary character in this film is this lady. Now the first you see of her is she's scaling a mountain. She's on her own, and her mobile phone rings just as she's got to, I can't even remember, it doesn't matter the actual name of this mountain. We can call it Everest for the sake of this. She's climbing this cliff face, and basically what that is showing you, wherever you are in the world, you can be contacted, you can be traced, you can be tracked. And of course as she gets to the summits, there's this guy saying, got a plane waiting for you, we need your expertise. She says in this film, my job isn't done, my job is to protect the entire team. We'll come back to her, of what she represents. Because she's the only survivor of in this film. Everybody else perishes. So the other key character is the archaeologist in Egypt. and drum roll as they've opened up this ancient site, and what does he find? A Coca-Cola bottle lid. There's all his funding cut. He's now part of this team, but what that is showing you is the whole Egyptian thing is just a bloody Disneyland theatre show for the masses. It's just one great big farce being shown there. So you've got this team assembled. They go to the Antarctic. At the same time, you've got 3 of these aliens. These are what have started this whole thing off. They've plunged through a perfect circle through hundreds of miles of ice way below the ground. Interesting, there's 3 of these predators. So they start this activation thing of raising this alien up slightly, because they want it to start producing the eggs for their sport. Now you've got 3 things going on here, but it's some clever twists. You've got the predators, you've got the alien, which is soon to increase with large numbers of baby aliens running around, and then you've got the humans caught in the crossfire. What is also shown in this, you've got the descent of man as they all go down below this ice. Now the archaeologist tells them that it's not Aztec, it's not Egyptian, and it's not Mayan. It's a mixture of all the cultures that goes way, way back. Now man, in his ignorance, who goes down there, backed by this corporation who wants the glorification for themselves of making this wonderful discovery, because the guy at the top of this, Wayland Industries, is dying anyway. So through man's ignorance, which is shown by these alien weapons being removed, then starts this chain of events off, and the rooms start moving, the doorways close up, other doorways open, and it takes you down to lower levels. There are your rabbit holes of conspiracy theories, and look where that is leading. But let's look at also the alien, because this whole film is not any different from anything else. It is all a drama that is unfolding within you. The alien is your sort of reptilian brain, your fight or flight, because the alien will just destroy everything. It has insatiable greed. It will implant itself through the mouth. It will cover the face and implant a seed. See where this is going? Now the predator looked to be like quite honourable, and as is shown in the sort of backstory of this film, these aliens are worshipped by humans. They're things that people look up to. They seem to have a hierarchy, a tradition. Well, there's the other aspect of humanity coming out, the religions, the things that you're supposed to bow down and worship, but they're really no better. They're no more your friend than the other lot. So humanity is caught in the crossfire. Interesting the way you've got aspects within all 3 of humanity. It's all going on within one, basically. The alien, you could say, is the conscious. You could equate the predator to the subconscious in this sort of way, and then humanity's stuck in the middle. So the outplay of this thing is that obviously that pretty much everybody is killed either by the aliens or the predators as they're caught in this crossfire. Except, of course, the main character. Now, she represents the divine feminine. Towards the end, when there's only, I think there's her and the archaeologist, who they've given an Italian accent. Again, another little clue there, and I'm sure if we went through this film and broke it down frame by frame on dates and things, you'll find numeric codes and everything revealed. I don't want to get lost in all the details of this. We're just looking at the overall story of this. So, as this archaeologist reminds this heroine, the enemy of our enemies is our friend. So if you're caught in the crossfire between the alien and the predator, you're sort of looking to, well, which one's actually going to benefit me and help me? And likewise, the predator has seen that this woman has a fighting spirit. She's actually helped this alien and given him his weapon back. And the alien has the predator has repaid. He's shown a bit of gratitude. He sort of recognised this. It appeals to his sort of nobility, his heroic aspect. They're a bit like the Norse mythology as well, the sort of whole heroic thing. You can also equate this to the gods and the underworld in Wagner's Ring. It's the same story being played out on a different stage set. So it culminates with this place being blown up that's deep below ground, and of course then you've got the representation of the fires of hell from below the ground, the Tartarus. And it doesn't end well for either the alien or the predator, because the predator has pissed off the mother alien and she's out for blood. She's out for blood of this alien, and it spears the alien and their mortal battle. It ends up with a water tower with a chain being tied to the tail of this alien, and as the explosion happens, also as well, you would see the ascent of man being shown as they come back up to the surface of the ice, followed in hot pursuit by the alien. So the fight then ensues, and you've got this woman who's the divine feminine. She's the only survivor of this, because she's found herself. But look how that could have gone horribly wrong. Man's ignorance in removing those weapons that starts the activation sequence off through their stupidity and curiosity in trying to understand things that they don't and trying to piece things together, nearly resulted in this alien getting to the surface and wiping out humanity. But the predators are no better, are they? Humanity needs to find its inner strength. It's that divine feminine. And this is what we're coming into. That is what is being expressed in that film. It's just shown to you in many, many ways. Different stage sets. The world is a stage after all. So going back to, if you feel like you don't belong here and you're not from this world, well, you've probably got a bit of that alien and predator battle going on within yourself, and you need to find that divine feminine, that inner strength within you to overcome what looks like insurmountable odds. And it doesn't matter which side you pick, neither of them are your friend. You can rely on the history to try and give you the answer. You can look to the alien world, you can look to the predator's world, but they're not your friends. They're still both your enemy at the end of the day. You need to find the divine feminine, the humanity within you. That is how you break out of this. Unless you wish to go down those rabbit holes way below the ice in the underworld. But I can assure you that, as that film shows, it does not end well if you go down that route. And it also shows throughout these films that man can overcome these monsters if you use your imagination and creativity and you think in new ways and work from the heart. Because although the predator is not actually your friend, there's a bit of compassion there. And there is a bit of compassion to be found in a very twisted way within those predators. But ultimately, they are not your friend. But if we go back to the second Predator film with Danny Glover, just look what happens with that. They take the fallen hero back onto the spaceship, back onto the Predator spaceship. But within that fallen hero, there's an alien that breaks out, and a whole load of new destruction happens, but at least it's away from Earth in that story. But of course, this is all a hologram matrix after all. Most people will not accept that, so they think they're in a reality, but it's like the film. It is all real, but it is on a reel-to-reel. And likewise in your mind, you can do as Neville Goddard says, you can remember the future, so you can fast forward, you can now rewind, you can go back to past events, and you can bring them forward, remembering them in the way you want to remember them. You deny the 5 senses of the deceiver. The 2 eyes are the deceiver. And we all play this part, because I'm doing it right now, because I'm just basically sort of giving you the same story that is in Scripture and in Alien and Predator and many other films and things. So I'm adding verse, so I'm becoming the adversary. But does that make me bad? Does that make me evil by doing that? It's just another way of explaining it, but ultimately you've got to find it within you. And what you'll find is, as you begin to go down this path, things will be revealed to you. But on a final note, just to end here, that saying about no one knows the appointed time except the Father. Let's have a think about this, shall we? Time. How do we see time? It's as plain as the clock face. What has a clock got on it? It's got 2 hands. They point somewhere. By what we're told, if one hand points on one number and hand points on another number, it's whatever that time happens to be. But no one knows the appointed time except the Father. So what is that time? That time is when the hand, the hour hand, because again time is 3, the hour hand points there. That is the appointed time, known only to the Father. Now the other appointed time, the end, that's down to you as to how much of your spiritual oil you have wasted, whether you have played the part of the 5 virgins who've wasted their oil, or the 7, the chakras, that have maintained and retained their oil within inside themselves. So I suggest you get those 5 senses back in, and you turn them inward in meditation. But let's just look at time. It consists of 3 things. You have hours, because they are hours. You can have minute details in minutes, and then they are split into seconds. Do you want seconds? They're just a fleeting glimpse. But of course hours can then become days, and you'll find you'll get many days like this in this dream. 7 days in a week, and look at the pattern that follows. You've got Saturn Day, followed by Sunday, so Father followed by the Son. Then you've got Moon Day, you've got Tuesday. Then you've got Wednesday, Odin's Day, followed by Thor's Day, Father followed by Son yet again, and then you have Friday, and then back to Saturn Day, Saturday. And it's an ongoing cycle. But it is just a dream, and you're living in 2 days, and do you know which is the waking dream and which is the sleeping dream? What is your reference point? Just like time and the clock face, it's the center point, the hand of God, the hands of time shown to you on the Sistine Chapel. The time is ours, the hour hand, God's hand. God is close at hand. It is the Creator within you. Awaken, O sleeper, but the Creator will only awaken at a time that is known unto the Creator, because no one knows the appointed time. But it is all about redemption as well, so just run out of steam. You're going to get to the point where you've looked externally and you've not found the answers that you're seeking. You've found pieces, you found puzzle pieces, but you still don't have the picture. So if you can't find it externally, there is only one place to go, and that is within, and that is meditation. And I talk from experience of this. The real wonders open up. The outside, external fear and nonsense just vaporizes. You create a new world order within oneself. We can all proclaim to be Jesus, we can all proclaim to be God, but we are God of the universe that we are in. Together we form a flower of life pattern. And we interact. We are all universes within a universe. We are bodies within an embodiment. So that's how it works. So hopefully that has given you another perspective that is just basically saying the same message. There is nothing else really to do here except preach the message and share the experiences and try and show the illusions of these scams, of these pyramid systems that pervade every facet of your external reality. But it's all about coming out of Egypt, that exodus as expressed in scripture. But it's all going on inside, same as alien versus predator. It's all going on within inside you. Right, it's getting noisy here and we're up to 27 minutes, so I shall say ta-ta for now. Well, may you have a beautiful day. Hopefully you won't be corporated and been turned into a small fry with the heat. But don't fall for the sun creams and give yourself cancer either. You'd be do yourself a favour and start repenting. Repenting means having a radical change of state of mind. So turn away from all these synthetic medications. Turn away from these synthetic stories. Turn away from all this synthetic food. Start really repenting, having that change of mindset, doing what is right for you, for your vessel. As Danny would say, clean your house. Look at, I mean, it was all very well, Neville Goddard was saying about you won't come to any harm by eating meat. But when he was saying that, the corporations did not have the same control over the food supply. So I would modify that to avoid eating meat, because it is not digestible, it's cancer causing. That's been proven. Unless you want to take the findings of the meat industry, of course, who are not going to find that. And you're saying the same thing with the dairy and the egg industries. They will tell you their products are good for you because it is in their interests to, because they are industry-backed research. They're not independent research. The only independent research is what you should do for yourself. And a big clue in that word there, isn't there? Independent. You depend upon what is within yourself. That is where the truth is. Or you depend on the outside world. And then we can go into another film called Independence Day. If you want to be in dependence to something that is external, that is controlling you like a government, and you wish to remain in that Piscean groupthink herd mentality, well, so be it. But there is another way. And you can find it within yourself. So I wish you all a wonderful day. I know I've already said this, but say it again, no harm in saying it twice. And hopefully the penny will drop for some of you out there. Ta-ta for now.